I didn't have an intro, but I have this feeling that the graphics are kind of off. It's not rendering right. It looks so blocky and weird today. Almost like we're just using art shapes. Okay, enough of the stupid intro. I came up with a challenge. I've said it before, I love limiting myself and giving myself a challenge in Planet Zoo with building, and this is something that I had in mind. I've talked about it briefly in another video that I wanted to do more of these things, and then I just felt like I really wanted to do it. So this is the art piece challenge, and what it is basically you build an entire habitat with just the pieces from the art shape tag. Yeah. So you're just using basically ladders and basic shapes and create a habitat out of that one. So I think I will link kind of some rules to this in case you want to do it, which I think would be amazing. So if you want to do this, definitely do, and definitely send it to me, because I do plan that, you know, depending on how many people do it, we might go through some, or regularly go through some. I don't really mind. It would be really cool if you felt like that would be a challenge that you wanted to do. So anyway, I would link the rules for this, and I think I kind of want to have a regular one and a kind of easier one, because the way that I did it, I had no fences, no water, no terrain paint, no plants. I did everything out of the art shapes. So I think we could include an easier version that actually allows you to have water and plants, but the structures would just be art shapes, because I think, the building of plants was kind of the hardest, and it does look a little bit bare in the end still, but I do think it looks quite funny. I think it looks like maybe an old computer game, like we just started out using 3D graphics kind of computer game. I quite like it, to be honest, and this was so much fun to build. I had a lot of fun with this, and funny enough also, when I was quote-unquote editing this video, there was not enough editing to do. I literally just sped up the footage, and there was nothing that I needed to cut out, because I was so straightforward with this. I had this idea in my mind for a while, so I knew what I wanted to do. And we are building for the anteaters, because I wanted an animal that was not too big, not too much space needed, because I did think, like, this is probably going to get somewhat repetitive if you make a huge thing out of this, and also wanted something that would force me to put in water, which I did. So I did build water. It's basically just blue shapes, but I did that. And so I think if you want to do this, like I said, that would be really cool. If you want to see other creators do it, definitely ask them to do that. I think that would be great. I don't want to be this, like, I nominate this and that person to do it, because I totally get if someone's like, I don't want to do it. So I don't want to bring anyone in that position to say I don't want to do it. So, but feel free to ask other people to do this, or like I said, try this yourself, and maybe send it to me at Love to Tour It. You can also tell me if you don't want to tour it on the channel, you just want to show me, that's also fine. I don't mind that, but let me tell you, this was a lot of fun to do. For some reason, it felt not as hard as I thought it was going to. Obviously, I have to rethink certain things, but also the fact that you have this one menu and you don't really leave it makes it easier. It's honestly, if you are like, okay, so next I want to do, like I'm doing right now, I want to do rocks, then you're not gonna scroll through the rocks and find what you want to do. You just pick up the shapes that you think you can use for rocks, put them down, recolor them, and move on to the next thing. Overall, it did kind of take some time. I think this was like 3 hours of building, but I'm a very, very slow builder. So that was that. But yeah, this grass, that was so much fun to make. In the end, because, spoiler alert, we're making individual leaves for the trees later on. In the end, this kind of wasn't the most peace count friendly thing ever, and obviously we're making individual grass pieces, which also kills the traversable area. Those poor anteaters they're not going anywhere because apparently these little letters, it's like L's and J's, I think, that I made stick out of the. No, not it was L's and the, brackets. Is that the word? I don't think I've ever used that word in English, but I think it's brackets. So those, I know that was incredibly important that you had to know what. Well, maybe it is important. Maybe you are like, oh, how do I make grass? Now you know. L's and brackets. So these individual grass things, and then also the individual leaves. And this is what we're doing right now is the floor for the visitors. And I didn't finish that floor. I will be very honest with you. And you will see that in the real-time part. I just kind of did the part where this is a little viewing area that is going to be there. We did have or a lot of planters around to kind of give that typical zoo look, I guess. And overall, I was surprised how not very square everything looks. I do think it's quite easy to make it look somewhat natural. It does look natural if you just had learned to 3D model and this was your first attempt at it. That's the amount of natural I see here, but I don't know. Like I said, I think it looks fun. It also looks sort of. I felt like I went more colorful than I usually would have, and I love a colorful build. I say this whenever there's a color involved in any of my builds. I'm like, I love colorful builds. So that naturally made me very happy. Also, this building that we're building right now, the auntie just can't really use it, which is amazing, but it's a traversable area and we have to live with it. But I think I knew that this was never going to make it into an actual zoo. I'm not planning to make an entire zoo out of this. It was fun for one time. I don't need to do it a lot. So I think it is fun. They can't really use their housing. There's also no enrichment items. There's no food tray, no bedding. I did build a food tray out of the pieces, and I did build a bedding out of the pieces, but I didn't go as far as. Oh wait, well, not really go as far because it's not part of the challenge actually to put these things in because they are not art shaped. So I didn't. The only thing that you kind of need to run it is obviously a null area, and you need a gate to get the animals in, if you even want to get the animals in. But those are the only two things. So those are the things that you need to make it work. If you also want guests in there, obviously you can lay a path underneath a custom path, but I would ask you to cover it up. So I have a staff path that goes there, but it's not really part of my build, so I didn't cover that one up. But if you build a guest area, I would say cover up the path. So basically, none of the non-art shaped pieces should be visible. Obviously, if you go for an easier version, make up your own rules, just have an attempt at this. That is totally fine. I'm not strict on this. There's no prize to win. There's no, this is just to challenge yourself, and also I think it kind of helps to kind of rethink how we do this, because everything is kind of everything is kind of built out of these shapes, if you think about it. Obviously not the letters, but everything is kind of made out of squares and circles, and so just to rethink how we do that is pretty nice. And it was like I said, it was easier than I thought it was. So if you want to have a little bit of fun with it, you can try it. And if it's not fun, just stop. I don't blame you. But this was actually something that I think I will carry on into my actual builds, which is using the it's the font, the smallest font. They have a full stop. Oh my god. Okay, so here's the thing. I would say that I'm fairly good at speaking English, but you don't ever talk about stuff like the words for a certain punctuation in like English class. Like that's something that is so specific to school knowledge that these are words that I kind of know in German but not in English. So I don't know what they're called, so maybe I should look that up. Maybe I should Duolingo that. But so the full stop, right? It's called that, right? So the dot, it's that one from the smallest font is kind of round, and so I think it's okay to use it as a hinge for doors if the doors is fairly thick and covers it up mostly. I think it looks great as a door hinge. I used it here, and I think I might use it again. I mean, so far we usually only ever build with the Europack hinge thing, and it's very helpful, but it's also sort of stylized. It's somewhat more like, I don't know, I don't want to say old, but like good quality, if that makes sense. So just like a clear, not decorated, just metal piece of hinge we don't have. So I think maybe if the situation arises, I might use this full stop dot, whatever it's called, for that. That would be cool. And so now you see me actually, I wasn't sure when I started building this if I actually wanted to do it, because now the floor also has this very shiny reflection, which is funny, but I actually did custom flooring, so I could have done custom terrain. I'm aware of that, and I might do it if I ever do this again. But in this moment, I didn't really think that was something to do, because I also knew right away that I wanted to build for the anteaters, so I didn't feel like these animals really called me for terrain, if that makes sense. So I don't know, didn't happen. We also do some oh god, what is it called? Like the lily things, the lily pads. We're doing lily pads on the little pond there. I'm sorry, it's so late and I'm really tired. I don't find that many words right now. So yeah, we're doing lily pads on this, which I think looks quite cute. And it's kind of hard to deconstruct these pieces like foliage. But it was also kind of the fun part, because oh my god, later on, I'm so proud of this. Later on, I'm building a fern out of pieces, out of V's. It's like a V's, and so it's that one I was kind of proud of. I'm not gonna lie, to come up with that. So you'll see that in probably like a minute. And this is my first attempt at building bushes. I could have cut this one out, but it's really the only thing that I didn't take. And I did something very similar, just a bit more toned down, a little bit smaller. I actually, used as bushes, and it really works. And also because it's good that I did that, because later on I will do individual leaves as well, but they kind of zone out if you go out with the camera, so you don't see them anymore and everything's just like barren. So it was good that I did these like just regular shape sort of bushes too, so that it doesn't look empty when you zoom out. And right now you see me building this food tray that I talked about, so it's water and food. Obviously the food is just little round shapes, as food is, I guess. Yeah, so that we did, and I don't know. I also put a lot of these like very tiny. I guess those are the tiniest full stops, right? But those are also helpful if you build like an office anything. They look like Post-its. They look like Post-its. Just put them in a neon color, slap them on the wall, and they look like Post-its. So really love using them for that. I think I also have a blueprint where I did that. It's just like not billboards, like pin boards. So right now you see the door hinge thing, by the way. Yeah, I did that again. So there is that. And I mean, what else can I talk about? I don't have a lot more to say, but I always say I don't like finishing my voiceover before the build is done. So I'm really tired, but I won't. I will say though, my birthday is in a few days and I'm so excited, and this is very much pre-recorded. So actually my birthday is in some while, but I pre-recorded this because I would spend my birthday with my parents and just kind of stay home. Unfortunately, I can't do too long because I have what's it called? Not an assignment. Well, I guess I do have an assignment, but I have to present it. So I can't stay with my parents' poor internet. I have to go home. And also in Germany, like a lot of the like train providers and bus providers and companies, they are on strike right now. So that is also great. So it will be fun to go home on Thursday. But yeah. That's how long I can stay. But yeah, I think we're almost. Oh, we're building the fern right now. That's great. I was looking around my room thinking what to talk about, but then I noticed we're looking at the fern right now. I'm so proud of this fern. I do kind of, looking back at it now, because I built this a while ago, I kind of put this off because I do a lot of one-off builds lately, and I kind of wanted to progress in some of the series to get to a point where, you know. But, oh my god, what do I want to say? So I wanted to progress my series to a point where I was comfortable doing another one-off build, because this is obviously not part of a series. I'm not building an entire zoo like this. But yeah, so now you see me actually do the individual leaves, which they cost so much piece count, lagging footage, you know. But it looks fine in the recording. Funnily, it did not look fine while playing, which usually it's the other way around. Usually my computer will be like absolutely fine while playing, and then I look back at the footage and I'm like, this looks like individual oil paintings. This does not look like a video. So this time it was the other way around, which I'm happy about, because I'm only playing it once, but I'm looking at it multiple times while editing, while voiceovering, that's a new word. But, okay, so we don't have that much time. I think I babbled on for long enough to make you all feel like I mean it when I say I don't like to end the voiceover before it's done. So I think I will just leave you with a couple of seconds of music now, and then we do a little bit of a real-time part. So I'll see you in real time. Okay, so I didn't really think this through, because you can really see everything without a tour, but we're still gonna do it. We're still gonna look at it from the guest's point of view. I do think for not having used anything to keep scale, I think I did pretty well with the scale. Let's actually, get rid of the UI here for a second. So this is the tree. This is consisting of 2,349 94, pieces. So you can imagine the piece count on everything, because I use these everywhere. This has something of like modern art. Okay, we're not here to look at that. Okay, so this path is unnecessarily complicated. I could have done it so that it's easy to be patterned, but I didn't. I pretty much, I copied some pieces, but I filled in the gaps manually, which took way too long. Did I not unpause the game? Are they moving? Oh yeah, they do. So these are the anteaters, and they're very weird enclosure. It didn't look out of place before I put them in, and it suddenly, made it so clear how this is just the art. Before that, it did, like, look at this. You're just like, oh yeah, well, it's a bit of a weird graphic. And then you look over and see these like super detailed animals, and you're just like, what? But let's go around. So we have these like planters. Let's get out of the sun, because it's kind of weird. If you look from this angle, then it's just white. So these are the ferns that I was so proud of. So we actually have like a bit of a planter over here. Around here, and actually I quite like this. But yeah, a little bit of a pond. It's actually, I think you're able to do more details with this pond right here. Look, they're actually attracted to the water. See, it's so real. Yeah, anyway, I kind of think you couldn't actually do a shape like this with the normal water because it's too clunky of a tool. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of flower pots just to give some structure to this path. Obviously, this is all supposed to be path, but like I said, I did this manually, so I really couldn't be bothered. And now can they actually go in there? I don't think they can, right? No, they can't. Good to know. But we can go in there, and let's crouch and crawl through here. So this is a hay bed made out of hashtags. I don't know. This fence is made out of Fs. These door frames are made out of Ls. And this is actually the hinges that I was talking about. So yeah. I think this is quite fun. Ignore the background. This is just my map where I built like one of things that are not part of any zoo. So there's that. It looks so cute when it's sitting like that. Oh, I really want to build for these guys for real now. They are so cute. I mean, I really love them in real life anyway. So, oh, it's so adorable. Okay, let's look at this one too. These are such cute animals. Okay, so, oh no, we're in the pond, drowning. Okay, so let's actually go out of here. So, again, if you want to do this, be more than welcome to. I will link something where you can read everything. All the rules that I made up for this, but you're also free to change up the rules. I really don't care, but I want to see the results if you do it. You can send them to me. You can also tell me if you don't want it viewed on the channel, which I totally understand, but I would really like to see them. So feel free to do this. Also, I finally got Instagram going, so you can also send this to me on there if you just want to send me screenshots and not a zoo file. That is totally okay. So yeah, I'm excited to see if you come up with something and how you like this. Let me know, and I hope to see you around another time. Bye!